sun dipped below the horizon, casting an amber glow across the vast expanse of the sea. A lone ship, the Stormbreaker, cut through the waves, its sails billowing in the wind. At the helm stood Captain Elias Drake, a seasoned sailor with eyes like the ocean, deep and unreadable. His fingers drummed against the ship's wooden wheel as he gazed at the tattered map in his other hand. It had taken years of searching, but at last, he had uncovered the location of Blackwater Island, the legendary resting place of the lost treasure of Captain Bartholomew Kane. Legend spoke of Kane as a ruthless pirate who had plundered the richest ships of the Spanish Main, amassing a fortune so vast it became the stuff of myths. But he vanished without a trace, his treasure lost to time. Many had sought it, but none had returned. Now, with his crew of fearless explorers, Captain Drake intended to claim it for himself. The crew bustled with excitement, whispering about the fortune that awaited them. Among them was Isabella Thorne, a fearless archaeologist with a sharp mind and a sharper tongue. She had spent years deciphering clues about Kane's whereabouts, and she knew more about the infamous pirate than anyone alive. As night fell, the Stormbreaker reached the jagged cliffs of Blackwater Island. The silhouette of dense jungle loomed ahead, shadowy and foreboding. With careful precision, the crew anchored near a rocky cove and rowed ashore in small boats. The scent of salt and moss filled the air as they stepped onto the dark sands, their torches flickering in the cool night breeze. The jungle swallowed them whole as they pressed forward. The island was eerily silent, save for the distant hoot of an owl and the rustling of unseen creatures. The path was overgrown, vines snaking around ancient ruins half buried beneath the soil. Isabella ran her fingers across the carvings on a moss-covered stone. They followed the trail deeper into the jungle until they reached a massive stone archway. Beyond it lay a vast clearing, at the center of which stood an enormous temple, its facade adorned with weathered statues of monstrous sea creatures. At its base, a heavy iron door loomed, its surface etched with cryptic symbols. After several tense minutes, she pressed 3 symbols in sequence. With a groan, the iron door slid open, revealing a dark tunnel. The air inside was stale, thick with the scent of decay. With torches in hand, the crew ventured into the depths of the temple. Inside, they found a sprawling network of corridors, each lined with skeletal remains of those who had tried and failed before them. Traps were everywhere, pressure plates, hidden arrows, and pits lined with sharpened spikes. It was clear that Kane had gone to great lengths to protect his fortune. After what felt like hours of careful navigation, they entered a grand chamber. At its center sat an enormous stone chest, its lid encrusted with rubies. Golden coins spilled from its sides, glistening in the torchlight. The treasure of Bartholomew Kane. But as Isabella stepped forward, something clicked beneath her boot. A deep rumbling echoed through the chamber. The walls trembled, and suddenly water began gushing in through hidden vents. Drake and Toby rushed to pry open the chest, scooping as much treasure as they could into their satchels. The water was rising fast. The crew bolted back through the tunnels, dodging collapsing walls and flying darts. By the time they reached the surface, the temple was half submerged, the lost treasure nearly lost once more. Gasping for breath, they made it back to the Stormbreaker just as dawn broke. The island's dark waters churned as if furious at their escape. As they set sail, Isabella turned to Drake, a triumphant smile on her face. As the Stormbreaker disappeared over the horizon, Blackwater Island remained, a silent, watery grave guarding its secrets, waiting for the next foolhardy adventurer to try their luck. The Stormbreaker disappears over the horizon, leaving the island behind, a silent, watery grave, waiting for the next adventurer.